Hi everyone, my name is Abena Palmore. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and tight curl specialist based in New York City. And in today's video, I want to extend some flowers to some very special individuals. So let's get into it. I'm wearing my hair in what looks like a protective style, I know. My hair was blown out and trimmed for my routine maintenance today, or not today, it was done a couple of days ago. And I want to extend special gratitude and show my appreciation specifically to these individuals, to Shelly V, Rosie Amelia, and AfricanHairGod Narada Hayes, as well as Ebony Painter, and so many more who've been vocal in sharing their experiences here on YouTube and other platforms. I want to share my thanks to you because I have been very much involved in the use of a method that I truly believed in. I've cared for my clients' hair, truly believing that I was providing the best care for them. And it was over the course of the last, I'd say, 3 weeks that I came to the realization that something needed to change and it needed to be immediate. And I wish I had known much sooner. And so the reason why I didn't know sooner is not because you weren't saying it, Shelly and Narada and Rosie. It was because I couldn't receive it. And I'm going to explain to you why. Your message was very, very poignant, but I couldn't receive it because as a tight curl specialist who was having a grand time in my salon serving my clients and my own hair seemed to be fine, I didn't see any reason to believe that there was anything wrong with anything we were doing. I think the first thing that got my attention was the curly cutting, and I've been doing curly cuts for several years, and it wasn't until training with Cut It Kinky that I was even happier with being able to provide the skill of cutting curly hair for my clients. So I was very appreciative to the skill that I learned, through their training. And so to believe that curly hair could cause damage was, something I didn't even fathom. But I did entertain, allowing my clients any option they wanted. They always had the option to have their hair cut straight or curly. It was always their option. And for those who wanted to have their hair assessed, I did that. But I didn't see that there was anything wrong with curly cutting. And if I had a client that I felt like perhaps this client really needs to have their hair cut straight so she can have the best, outcome for her maintenance, I did that. I actually requested that of my client. And that was because of, individuals like, say, Tammy Moore, who had expressed having a better outcome for her maintenance on her ends because of it. What I want to express to you all is that it's been so very important that you've continued to share your stories, because even though it didn't resonate with me, the fact that it was there, you were able to connect with so many individuals. I didn't get the message until one of my colleagues, Aubrey of One Royal Treatment, started sharing her videos here on YouTube. And even her videos initially, the urgency just was not there. I didn't see the need to make any changes in my salon because everything seemed to be working just fine. And so when I fast forward and I go out and I have my hair cut, because I've been on a journey of trying to get to my hair inspiration from 2015, when I really loved my shape of my curly hair at that time. And so even though I'd worn my hair, for 10 years, I had retained length all the way down my back curly. It was beautiful. I wanted to get back to this hair inspiration that I had in 2015. So in October of 2024, I got my hair cut. I got significant amount of hair cut curly. I didn't get it blown out because I was just going for shape. And it was several inches because I was trying to get to my hair inspiration. A few weeks after that cut, a few washes later, the ends of my hair were not behaving like ends that had been cut into healthy hair. And I know what it's like when you cut into healthy hair. It's beautiful. Your ends are just beautiful. It wasn't like, with cutting just bare minimum and then they start to come back, your ends are getting old again. No. When you cut into healthy hair, you're supposed to have healthy ends. So that stood out to me. And I reached out to my colleague who had been, posting on YouTube. That's Aubrey of One Real Treatment. And I'm going to link her video in here so you can take a look at what had caught my attention. And I was like, oh, we really, what's the deal with these leave-ins? Because I know she had asked me about leave-ins with my products. And so, I talked with her and I said, oh, so now our hair is going into a decline. Like, we need to get back to leave-in conditioning and deep conditioning, something we weren't doing as a part of the method. And so when I, hold on, I'm losing my train of thought. Please forgive me. After that, videos just kept coming out. You all kept sharing and sharing and sharing. And I wanted to make some adjustments with my salon as it related to leave-in conditioning and deep conditioning, specifically to get the emollients back into our regimen. But before I could even get the information out, more information kept coming out. And the one that hit me the most was the video AfricanHairGod had shared on his page about the experience that Ebony Painter had had. That was devastating for me. That one stood out to me on so many levels for the amount of damage that she experienced, how severe it was, and to know that what was instrumental in her damage was the overuse of a shampoo that I was using regularly. The AG Balance shampoo had been introduced to us as a gentle cleanser for weekly washing. And I've been gently cleansing my hair weekly for about 4 years using that shampoo. So when I learned of that particular, component of the damage that people may have been experienced, that's when I really became super anxious. And I ramped up, all of the work that I had to do to get this information to my clients, who are my first priority. I had already been, making changes as it relates to certain things, but that was the catalyst. And it would not have reached me if I hadn't already been tuning in because of what I heard from Aubrey with the leave-in conditioning. So curly cutting was not a way that I was going to hear you all, but you finally, a message got through to me. And for that, I want to say thank you for all of your hard work over the course of the past year and a half, almost 2 years. I want to say thank you for Narada being a professional in the position to receive these ladies who were going through something and I will tell you, they reached out to me as well. And when they did, it was in 2023. And I said, I hear you, I receive you. I wish there was something more I could do. But at this point, all I can tell you is that we don't have the same experience. My clients aren't experiencing that. My community is not experiencing that. I was totally, under the impression that these were isolated incidents, that you all were having adverse reaction to the products, and your experience with the curly cutting was not the cause of it. And that was it for me. And so because Narada, being on the outside, didn't see, the benefits or the value that I saw in using the method. So he was able to look at it with an outside lens, which was so excellent, because an objective eye, a neutral eye, one that's completely not involved in the situation, was able to see it more clear. And so you all worked together to identify what the issues were and how to fix them, or at least bring some type of resolution. And because you have all been so diligent in providing this information, now persons like myself who have been affected, yes, my hair has been compromised. I don't know if I got to that part yet. I'm all over the map, and I apologize for that. But my hair is compromised. And I'm going to now go into that as well. So the need to get my hair assessed was more clear, because now I can tune in and learn more. I could reach out to Aubrey and ask her, and I learned, what she was doing, which I was not aware. I thought she was pivoting to pivoting away from curly cutting because curly cutting had been under fire, you know. I didn't know it was because of damage. And so to hear from her, you know, I wish I had known this a year ago, because my hair was in excellent condition at the beginning of 2023 for certain. It was in the best condition it had ever been, and it was because of this method. So you know I was loving the method. But to learn that after a certain period of time, it starts to decline, I didn't know that, and I wasn't aware. But to understand what I needed to do in order to determine the level of severity of my compromise, that I needed to have my hair blown out, was what I've been learning. And so I proceeded, you know, I had an appointment already scheduled for this hair cut. It was going to be a curly cut because I was just about shape, right? So maintain my ends and get my shape. But I decided I was going to do this on blown out hair per the recommendations of Aubrey, and from what I understand, what Narada has been teaching, and Shelly and Rosie and others. And so I did go get my hair blown out. And Shelly reached out to me to make sure I knew to get my hair done on flat iron hair, and I didn't know. But my point is that I appreciate you, Shelly. I appreciate you being concerned enough for me to make sure that I was getting it done in a way that's going to be most effective, most impactful for dealing with the situation. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you, Rosie. I appreciate you, Narada. And going forward, just let it be known that even someone like me who has hair that is considered unicorn hair, very resilient hair that's very strong, even I'm not immune to the level of damage that can be caused from the overuse of a cleanser that, you know, is maybe gentle for some, but not for our hair, not for weekly cleansing. And it was miscategorized. And so I you know, in talking with you all, and Ebony, I appreciate you, Ebony. In talking with you all, you know, it has become clear that the shampoo was a catalyst in so many of you all experiencing severe damage to your hair, because it was a part of our protocol that, you know, if you want to have the best outcome for your new clients coming in who've never been a part of the process, you want to get them on the process at least, you know, 4 washes with the AG balance back to back to remove whatever they've got building up on their hair. And unfortunately, by doing that particular approach, it doesn't take into account that there are people who are going to want to come to you who don't have a level of buildup on their hair that they need to wash, you know, 4 weeks back to back with a clarifying shampoo. That wasn't clear to us. And so I now understand that that was what led to a number of people experiencing damage. And that wasn't something that I may have experienced, you know, directly with my clients, or at least was aware of. There may have been some, but we didn't know how to identify it. And the work that Shelly, Rosie, and Narada have done over the past 1.5 to 2 years has been able to make it possible for people to identify what these issues are, and then further find a way to stop what I call stop the bleeding, stop the train of damage, stop that path, and rectify it and move in a direction of, you know, toward your objectives of having healthy hair, which is why we're all here. So that was one thing, you know, that part of the process. And then we also had a training that we went over, because we not only did we take the class, the in-person class, we had a mastermind, and in that we would go in and we would learn different techniques to how we could improve for our clients. And so one of the techniques was how we handle a routine maintenance visit to get the best, you know, shape for our clients. And that included a lot of cleansing. It didn't dawn on me that we were over cleansing, because this is what we were taught and this seemed to be working so fine. But when you review the information, you know, from the videos that Narada has shared and Shelly and Rosie have shared, it was so much cleansing on hair that was not overloaded with oils and butters or anything like that, that didn't need as much cleansing. And so I am so grateful that you've shared this information. I know that there have been people who are just like so tired. Like at some point I was like, why are they still talking about this? We just didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't understand. We didn't know what we needed to know. And because now the information is there, now we know that you have information that is going to be crucial to us. And as tight curl specialists who have individuals who come to us for care, I know I need this information. I need to know how to identify the signs, how to care for it, how to treat it, the best approach for it. I think what I've heard from Aubrey, as well as from Shelly and from Ebony recently, is that we need to actually limit the use, the style, the wash and go style, and that wearing our hair in protective styles may be the way to go for a while. And that's something I have to strongly consider. That's why I'm on this here video. Like I would never appear like this because I love my curls. But because of what I'm learning, I believe that this is going to be the way forward for a bit. Wearing my hair in a protective, just not out. This is new for me. But again, I'm saying this because I appreciate you, Shelly. I appreciate you, Rosie. I appreciate you, Narada. I appreciate Ebony Painter. And even most recently, I watched a video that Narada and Ebony and Annazette was on. Annazette, you touched my heart. Beautiful. I love the way you cared for Ebony. And I loved learning from you how you approached, your care for your clients. So I just wanted to share that with you all. I have a separate video that I'm making, that I want to address specifically to the ladies of Black Girl Curls and Cut It Kinky in a different way. I have nothing but appreciation for everyone, okay? And I wanted you to know how much you have stopped the bleeding, what could have continued. I had a client today, I'm so grateful. I had a client today who's been with me for, oh my gosh, I don't know. I can't even think about how many years, but she's been with me this whole time. And she just left here and her hair is healthy. Her hair is in good condition, so it's not destroyed. My hair, I'm going to show images of, what we discovered with my hair. And her hair is in better condition, I think, than mine. And the reason being is that thankfully, she wasn't washing her hair with balance every week. That is the difference. The low porosity hair concentrated in my crown section is so dry, so fragile, it has begun to break. Actually, I've got a lot of breakage in this area.
Possibly on the verge of 2 inches. And it's kind of a pretty straight shot all the way around. That would eliminate all of it. Okay.
When I zoom in to take a closer look at the ends of my hair while it's curled, they actually look pretty good in the back. But in the blown out state, you can actually see that there's less melanin there that have that color change. And so there's definitely compromise to my ends. And according to the stylist who was doing my blowout and my cut, I have at least 2 inches that need to come off and was taken off for sure. That's pretty significant considering that several inches were cut off just 3 months ago. And if I were someone who were looking to retain length, that would have been devastating because I would have been holding on to all that hair and it just would have been traveling further up the strands. I also have breakage on the top of my head where I sit under the dryer, even though I now only sit under the dryer for about 20 minutes. Because my hair is so dehydrated, it cannot really support the level of heat coming down on my head. I learned this again from Tammy. Tammy Moore was the one who mentioned this, that she had heard actually from AfricanHairGod, that it would be better for her not to sit under the hooded dryer for that very reason. And I have since stopped having my clients sit under the dryer for extended period of time because we know our hair is dry due to the lack of leave-in conditioning and deep conditioning and the over-cleansing. So again, thank you for the videos that you've made. Thank you for finally getting through to me, little old me. It was very meaningful to me because I know that others have known about this and didn't tell me how severe it was. because they didn't know that I didn't know. And you don't know what people don't know. So by sharing what you have shared makes it possible for us to at least find out. And again, for that, I say thank you. So thank you all so very much. I appreciate you.